Hi, my name is Tucker Wood, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make a hip-hop beat using GarageBand, which is an Apple software that comes preloaded on most Macintosh desktop computers and laptops, and it's available in the App Store. It's a pretty easy software to use, but it's actually pretty powerful, and you can make some really nice music with it. Today I'm going to be using a one-octave keyboard as a MIDI controller, which will play all my sounds from drums to pianos, guitars, anything I'd like to add into the song. So, before we get started, basically hip-hop music is done in a 4/4 time signature, which means that there are 4 beats per measure. So if you were counting that, you would be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, etc. So we're going to be using that scheme for our drum beats. But to start, we need to create a new project, and so I've titled this SNHU Demo Speech Beat, and then we need to pick a tempo. Generally, hip-hop beats are done between 80 beats per minute to 120 beats per minute. Higher beats per minute means a faster, more up-tempo song. Lower number of beats per minute means it's going to be a slower song. I'm going to pick something right in the middle, so I'm going to be using 88 beats per minute for this beat. I'm going to start by creating a new track, and I'm going to select drum kits from the categories on the right hand side, because I like to start when I make my hip hop beats with the actual drum beat. New track. It's a software instrument. Create. I'll select drum kits, and from all of my drum kits I'm going to choose one called the Studio Heavy Kit. Or when you're making your drum beats, your bass drum or your kick drum is generally on the 1 and the 3, and your snare or your clap is on the 2 and the 4. I'll show you. So there's a good bass. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very basic, but that's the idea behind your drum beat. Alright, I'm going to start recording my drum beat. I'm going to press the R button, which will start the recording. I'll count down 4 beats and then start. So you have 8 bars, drum beat laid down. I'm going to do what's called quantizing, and that will take any little mistake that maybe I made and it'll put it right on the beat. So that can be found if you double click the track that you recorded. Down at the bottom, quantize note timing. We're going to want to swing it a little bit, and it should sound like this. Next I'm going to throw in some cymbals and some hi-hats and some rides to fill it out so it sounds more like a drum kit. So I'm going to create a new track, select the same drum kit, which is Studio Heavy Kit, and this time I'm going to be using cymbals, rides. I'm going to press the R button again to start the recording. So again, I'm going to quantize, swing. With our drum beat laid down, next I like to add the rhythm section. So I'm going to be adding a new track, grand piano, and for the sake of this demonstration I'm going to be making this beat using one chord. That's a C major chord. On my keyboard here, that's a C, P, G. 1, 3, 5, that'll make a beautiful C major chord. I'm going to start the recording. Give me a 4 beat count off. 2, 3, 4. So now we have drums and rhythm. Next we're going to add the bass line. And with the piano part we used a C, E, G. Now in order to make the sounds match in our beat, when I make my bass line I'm going to use those same notes so that everything will match up. So I'm going to create a new track, select bass, and I'm going to pick one called the sub synth bass. Okay? quantize, swing it. Now we have drums, piano, and bass. Drums, rhythm, bass. For our last section, we're going to add a melody. And with a melody, you could use any instrument that you want. I personally like to add a synthesizer because it gives it a nice like electronic sound. So I'm going to create a new track. Select synthesizer leads, and I'm going to be using one called the Ominous Dance Floor. Okay, so with your melody, this is where you want to come up with the tone of your song. We already have the rhythm section, so now we're going to play something along with it. 2, 3, 4. We quantize. And now you have very basic C major chord hip hop beat.